As someone who does it regularly, I wanted to find out if there was anything to be gained by paying a cruise off early before final payment date. This is what I found out. Some surprises to come. If you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. I'm Gary Bembridge and I'm here to make it easy to discover, plan and enjoy dream cruise vacations. There are 3 ways to pay for a cruise, and which one you use will affect what benefits there are or aren't in paying your cruise off early. First of all, you can of course pay your cruise in full when booking. That could be by choice, or for most cruise passengers, this normally happens when you're booking a cruise after the final balance due date has passed. So for example, when you're booking perhaps that last minute getaway, or you're taking advantage of a really great cruise deal for something that's departing within 3 months' time, you're going to have to pay in full at the time of booking. The second way is you pay a deposit, which is usually between kind of 10% and 20%, and then you pay off the rest of that fare through a monthly payment plan. What I discovered is many travel agents offer these to help their customers spread out the cost of the cruise and avoid them having to find that lump sum 90 days before a cruise. Now, I had realized that many cruise lines also offer a monthly payment plan at checkout if you're booking direct. Now, they normally use a third-party provider to manage the payment plan, but it is interest-free. So for example, at the time of recording, Carnival has Carnival Easy Pay, Princess Cruises has EZ Pay in the US, and Princess Pay in other regions. Of course, there's also nothing stopping you paying off something every month either to your travel agent or the line if you book direct, to kind of slowly reduce the amount owed so you don't have that big lump sum to pay. Thirdly, the more traditional way is paying a deposit at booking and the balance before or on final balance due date. If you pay off your cruise early using any of these methods, while there are benefits that I will come to, there are a few really big downsides to talk about first. There is one really big downside that could be the absolute deal breaker for paying early. And this is what happens if your cruise goes down in price. Once you've booked a cruise, especially if you've booked it way in advance, you must track the fares. If not, you could be paying much more than you need to. I've been able to reduce individual cruise fares by hundreds of dollars by tracking fares in the past. Now, if fares go down, you need to act to get your fare reduced. But if you've paid it off early, you have much less options and are at a really big disadvantage. How do I track fare movements? Well, I track fare changes in 3 ways. First of all, I ask my travel agent to watch pricing. Secondly, I sign up to the cruise line email newsletters and watch out for promotions that are covering my booked cruises. But thirdly, and easiest by a mile, is I use one of the free cruise tracking sites. Now, there are many of these, but the one that I like and has worked best for me is on cruisewatch.com. I input my cruise and cabin grade, and they alert me by email every single time fares change, which they usually do multiple times because cruise fares change based on demand. Now, I've put links to the different tracking options in the notes of this episode. If fares go down, you must act. Contact the line if you book direct, or get your agent to if you book that way, and ask for the new fare. If you still owe them money, they will usually just reduce the fare in their system. So nice and simple, you simply owe them less for the same cruise. By the way, many lines promise to match fares when they go down, but they don't make it automatic. You still have to contact and ask them. So if you haven't paid the final fare, if they won't cut the fare and you have a refundable deposit, you simply say, I want to cancel and rebook at the lower fare, and you'll find they basically move then. But what if you've paid off your cruise early? The line will say either you simply can't have the lower fare, they'll suggest you take an upgrade, or that they will add some onboard credit to the booking. They will almost never refund your cash. So that means, as nice as extra onboard credit is, you're locked into, firstly, paying a higher fare than you need to for that cruise in reality. And secondly, you have to spend those lost savings with the cruise line on that particular cruise. They're effectively keeping your lost savings. By paying the fare in full early, you have lost the ability to pocket the saving from fares going down and do whatever you want with it. It also makes the option of cancelling and rebooking at the lower fare pretty complicated. You have to get into the whole area of refunds and so on. Now remember, fares can and probably will change a number of times, so you need to keep contacting the line every time they do. Now, if you really like to pay off your cruise early as it helps with your cash flow and budgeting, what I suggest you do is hold back some, so maybe $200 or $300, so if fares do go down, you can still benefit and pocket those savings. Another downside of paying early is if you have to cancel or cannot go, or want to or need to move to a later date. The cruise lines are known at being pretty slow for paying refunds, and you risk tying up your cash for a really long time if you push the cruise back, because you have hundreds or even thousands tied up with that particular line. Now, this is a lesson we all learned during the pandemic shutdown, when hundreds of thousands of cruise passengers had money locked up in future cruise credits, effectively having paid in advance. It's the same principle here. So what are the benefits of paying early? Are there any after those big downsides? Well, of course, first of all, you have the satisfaction of knowing your cruise is paid for and there's no need to have that lump sum built up and ready. You've spread it out across the course of a year or more. There's also some suggestion from industry insiders that I spoke to that it may affect what order you are in any upgrade list, and it works in your favor over those with just deposits paid. But you can't really count on that, but it's a possible upside. Now, as I explained earlier, you can still negotiate some benefit when fares go down, although you don't have the same flexibility as those that haven't paid in full. But overall, there seems to be more downsides over upsides from paying a cruise off early. For more cruise money saving tips, watch these two videos in this playlist that I've put together right now.